Good afternoon. The next step on our dreadnought build is gluing up the neck assembly. We have a raw neck here from Martin. It's got the volute in it for the 28 style. Martin necks come with these little locating pins here. One up here at the top and one towards the body. And those made up with a couple of holes here on the Martin fretboard. So if you get a Martin kit, it's really easy to get the fretboard located where it's supposed to be. That puts the 14th fret right here, exactly even with the joint to the body. And like I showed you before, this is a dovetail neck. So anyway, before we do any more with it, we have to glue it up. We got the truss rod here that goes in the slot, and to keep that from rattling around, since this has got shrink wrap on it, so it will keep anything from getting into the mechanism, we can run a little bead of glue down the slot here. Now that's not really structural. That just keeps the truss rod from rattling around. It's not a lot of stress put on that, so the next thing will be putting a layer of glue here on the surface of the fretboard, or I mean the neck. And we smooth it out nicely. And I put it on the neck instead of on the back of the fretboard because there's a lot of the fretboard sticks out there and it doesn't need to have glue on it. So this way we only put glue on the surfaces that are actually getting glued up. Alrighty. Now we put the position of the fretboard on there the way it's supposed to be. And to clamp this down so that later on when we're setting up the action on the guitar, we want this as straight as possible. So we go over here to our granite plate, machinist plate that you've seen before, and I've just got a couple strips of wood here that the fretboard will lay against to make sure there's pressure on the outside, along outside of each side of the fretboard, to make sure that joint is closed up good as it's drying. So we put those on there, get it kind of centered there a little bit, and now we just start putting some clamps on it. These are bigger clamps than I normally use, but I've got a bunch of them in use in the other room gluing up a guitar body, so these are a little overkill, but it doesn't hurt to be a little bigger than it needs to be. So what we want to do is put clamps all along the neck and a good amount of pressure on them. And that is, one more clamp here. Let's go ahead and put this one on right there. And there we go. Now, that will stay clamped up overnight. Then tomorrow it'll be ready to start smoothing down the contour of the neck to bring it to the edges of the fretboard, which is already pre-sized. That's it for today.